close. Yeah. Yeah. Now for us to consider it as strong high, price has to do this. It has to take out liquidity from a previous high and then break structure. Simple. Okay. It has to do a run on stops and then break structure. So if this happens, this high will be considered as a strong high. Okay, that high will be considered as strong high. And same thing, for it to be a strong low, price has to do this. Okay, it has to take out liquidity from a previous low, and then it has to give you a breakout structure like this. Okay, so if that happens, this will be considered as a strong low. Okay, that will be considered as strong low. Now, what happens in the market is something like this. Now, for now, I'll just draw this out to you, and later let's get into charts. Okay. Yeah. Now, this is what happens in the market. So let's say we had a stop hunt, a breakout structure. Price might retrace and then give you another breakout structure like this. Okay, might give you another breakout structure. So now you can see price is clearly in a downtrend, right? Creating lower highs and lower lows. So if someone wants to re-enter the market, what would they expect? A lower high and a lower low, right? This is what anyone would expect.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, this is what anyone would expect, right? A lower high and a lower low. So first thing, smart money traders, what would they do? They might look for a point of interest in these areas, set their limits here, stop losses above these highs, targeting lower prices, right? This is what the smart money traders would do. And even supply and demand traders, because this is what they call a rally based drop. So they might call this a supply zone and then set their limits here once again, stop losses above these highs, targeting lower prices. Okay, this is what they would do too. But then again, not only the smart money and supply and demand traders wants to enter the market here. Okay, we have trend line traders. Okay, we have trend line traders. What they would do is they'll wait until the third touch into the trend line like this, and then stop losses above these highs, targeting lower prices once again. This is what they would do, right? This is what they would do. They will expect a move like this or something like that. Okay, so this is what they would do. And then again, we have break and retest traders. Okay, break and retest traders. What they would do is, like, what are the confirmations they use? Something like a bearish engulfing candle, right? Once they find out a bearish engulfing candle, they will sell this thing, stop loss above these highs, targeting lower prices once again. This is what they would do. Same thing, we have broken support turning into resistance. We have SNR liquidity. Okay, a broken support turning into resistance. What they would do is once they find out, once they find out a bearish engulfing candle, they're going to sell this thing, stop loss once again above that high, right? Once again above that high. Then we have breakout traders. Because why? What have the breakout traders been taught? So if price breaks structure, if it retraces and gives you another breakout structure, the breakout traders are going to have their buy stops above this high. Okay, buy stops are going to be placed above this high, because the reason is anyone knows that if something like this happens, it's going to be a breakout structure, right? It's going to be a breakout structure. So the breakout traders, what they do is, now since they want an early entry, they're having their buy stops here, because they know that in case if that happens, price can keep going higher. Okay, so that's the thing. Now this right here, now let's look at this. Okay, how much of liquidity is resting above this high right here? A lot, right? all types of all types of traders are trapped above this high, right? All types of traders are trapped above this high. Like the yeah, 90% of the retail stop losses are right above that high. See that? Right above that high. So like if we call ourselves smart money traders, and if we do something like this, we're just adding into that pool of liquidity, right? Our stop loss is also with that liquidity. So you can't do that. So if you're a smart money trader, you have to be thinking like thinking like the smart money entities. Now, what are the intentions of the smart money? Is to take out the retail stop losses, right? Is to take out the retail stop losses. So where are the retail stop losses now? Right above that high. Right above that high. So knowing that, you're not going to sell it here. You're going to look for something above that. Okay, you're going to look for
You are
something
saying
above that.
that
Yeah,
this will become an inducement, but it's
exactly.
not a valid structure high, right?
It is not a very structural high. Okay, it is not a structural high. Now once we get into charts, I'll show you why it's not a structural high. Okay, yeah. Now people are induced into believing that this high right here is a break of structure point. See that? Inducements. People are induced into believing that this right here is a break of structure point. and another set of people are induced into selling from these areas, right? Selling from these areas. Now, like that's the thing. Okay, the induced ones, those are the things that matter the most. Okay, those are the things that matter the most. Now, price might come up, and in these areas, you might get good reactions. Why would they do that? Okay, only to like get you hyped up, nothing else. Because you know how we get the confirmation entries, right? Now, when price taps into this point of interest, you might even get something like this on a lower time frame, a lower time frame breakout structure
Yeah.
when price taps here. Why are they doing that? Building up more and more liquidity. Now, then what people would do is increase their risk and then reduce their stop loss on a lower time frame point of interest like this, right? Because why? The trade is confirmed after the breakout structure. So they might have their stop loss above these highs now, having the same targets like this. Why? That way they can increase their risk to reward ratio, right? Okay, so this is what they would do. And then again, some people might look at this as a trend line forming. Okay, some people might look at this as a trend line forming, and surprisingly, all of these areas will get respected for a while. Why would they do that? Building up more and more liquidity. See that?
Yeah.
More and more liquidity is getting built up. This is what we call engineered liquidity. Okay, engineered liquidity. And then what happens? All of a sudden, bam, we'll go straight through it, and all of the sellers will get stopped out. Okay, all of these sellers will get stopped out. And then what we should understand is that if they want to go lower, they're going to induce buyers into the market first. Okay, they're going to induce buyers into the market first. Now look at this. Buyers are induced into the market in the form of buy stops. See that? Buy stops are activated now.
Yeah.
Because why are they doing that? Because only if there are buyers in the market, they will have their stop losses below a low, right? Can you understand it? Only if there are buyers in the market, the stop losses will be below a low. Now, what happened is now when price broke above this high, buy stops are activated, and then another set of people would look at this as a breakout structure, and they will expect moves like this, right?
Yeah.
They will expect moves like this. So now, where are the stop losses placed? Right below this low, right?
Yeah.
Right below that low. Can you understand it? Like they might look for order blocks or something from this area, set their buy limits here, stop losses below these lows, targeting higher prices. This is what people would do, right? This is what people would do once they look at this as a breakout structure point. Now they will be expecting moves like this. Okay, so this is what they would expect. So that's the thing. This high right is what we call a major inducement, because why? Like when it was here, a lot of stop losses were getting built up above that high, but when it broke, now where are the stop losses? Right below this low, right? Right below that low. So with this high right here, what they did was they built a cause for lower prices. Now they have a reason to do this. See that? Now they have a reason to run below these lows. Okay. So now, yeah, price can go up. It will sweep all of these stop losses, activate the buy stops, and then they will quickly push price back down. Okay. This move will be very quick. And in these areas, once again, you might get reactions. Why? Building up more liquidity. Okay. More and more liquidity is getting built up, these fake trend lines forming and all of that. And then, well, everyone will get stopped out. Okay. So this is that entry you should always focus on getting. Entry above the liquidity. Okay, entry above the liquidity. So you can set it here. Stop loss. The safe place for your stop loss is always above the strong high. But if you do not like the risk to reward ratio, you can put it above the point of interest and then target lower prices like this. Okay, and now the reason I'm referring to this as a point of interest is because now this doesn't have to be an order block all the time. Okay, this could be an order block. Yeah, this could be an order block, or else this could be a breaker block, or else an imbalance close price section. Okay, anything. But what makes it high probable is the liquidity that is resting below it. Okay, that is the main thing. That is what makes it high probable. So can you understand it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what happens in the market. Okay, builds up liquidity, takes it up.
Can you please explain what is a breaker block? Because
Ah,
I
yeah,
may
I'll show you.
heard about it later.
Okay, I'll show you. A breaker block is something like this. Now, this is the formation for a breaker block. Once again, something like this. Okay, something like this. So now this whole area would be an order block on a higher time frame, right? Last push up before the push down. See that?
Yeah.
Last push up before the push down. So this whole thing is an order block on a higher time frame, right? It's an order block on a higher time frame. So this push up started only to take out this liquidity, right? From this high. Okay, so there will always be a bearish candle here, the last push up before the push down. Okay, so you don't have to mark out this whole area. On a lower time frame, you can see a breaker block in these areas. I'll show you. Okay, there you can see a breaker block in these areas. Okay, so now keep in mind, this is the formation of a bearish order block. I'm sorry, breaker block. Okay, this is the formation of a bearish breaker block, and you can expect moves like this, like this. Okay, yeah.
Simply speaking, it's a supply becoming a demand or a demand becoming a supply.
Yeah, I did not learn a lot about supply and demand, but yeah, but it's more different. Okay, the breaker shows you where the money is actually. Okay, it's not a supply or a demand zone. Okay, the ICT breaker, it never fails. Okay, the proper ICT breaker will never fail. Okay, so keep that in mind. And yeah, same thing for a bullish breaker block. So the bullish breaker block will be right here. Okay, the bullish breaker block will be right here where the structure got broken. Right here is where the structure got broken, right? So this is where the breaker will lie, like this, and then you can expect moves like this. Okay, you can expect moves like this now. Yeah, because it's just a higher time frame order block, but if you go to a lower time frame, it's gonna be a breaker block. Let me show you a good example.